Hello everyone, I'm AJ of EverythingAJ's and I want to thank you all for joining me today. I'm going to be making a sun catcher charm for my cell phone. So I thought it would be a good idea to make a very small version of a sun catcher, still beaded, still could be customized, still very fun, and have it actually attached to my cell phone. So in doing this, I have a couple of different ideas and options of like what you would have to use to connect the smaller charm set to your cell phone. So these are things you can either find online or you can go to a local craft store and see what they have available for you, because there's multiple different cases that we have, and obviously size phones and where the connections are on the phone is going to depend perhaps on how you want to connect it to your phone. So here is a smaller version that I have done in the past. This I had made as an idea for a rear view mirror type of sun catcher. I thought of this being even smaller, and that's how I came up with it perhaps being okay to be on a cell phone, being that you don't really want it to smack around too much and obviously give yourself like a broken tooth or a black eye or any of that. So or even breaking the case or the cover of the screen protector. So that's kind of what sparked this smaller idea. Hopefully it's small enough to that none of those things that I mentioned before would actually happen, because you certainly wouldn't want to take one of these larger ones, which is my streamlined type of design, and you wouldn't want to put that big of a crystal at the end of your cell phone. That would it would be ridiculous. It would not be a good idea at all. So I figured if I at least showed you the example of the difference of some of the other designs that I've made, which there are other videos out, so if you're curious on any of these other ones, just go ahead and look below in the descriptions and I'll have a couple of those videos actually linked for you. But otherwise you can go on and just look at all the different projects and the different types of designs that I've done, and you can turn that into anything that you wish. I do not necessarily put a specific recipe for my designs, so to speak, being that I'm not looking for you to copy exactly what I make, but I'm looking for you to definitely build an idea and be able to do what works for you and or your customers. So as you can see, I have so many different options on my board here that when I don't give you specifically all of those answers that you're asking in the description or in the comments for your questions, that may be why, because it's not specific for what you're doing, it's specific for what I'm doing, being that it just makes it more fun to discover the design and put it together and then adopt what it is that you wish to continue with. So I hope that's helpful. And I do want to say that I appreciate anybody who's made a comment and asked, and then also the other community part of the people commenting and helping each other figure out those answers, so to speak. Being that I don't have a specific recipe, I get it. We all want to know something maybe that gets us a little bit further ahead. So some answers I have, but not necessarily, like I said, written like a recipe, do everything like this. I don't have that. That just doesn't exist for me to be able to give to you. Anyways, I wanted to also tell you that I took such a time off this last year. It wasn't because I was not enjoying everything that I was making. It was because I needed to get glasses. I needed to do some home projects. I actually created and made a pond. And those things took a lot of time and dedication, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to bring you along with that journey, being that that's not really what my channel is, but it is a part of my life. So I just wanted to tell you that those are some of the other things that I've been into and why I've been taking a little bit of a break and showing you some of the other things that I've been coming up with. So anyways, I'm going to reposition the camera. I will put it closer to this board here so that as I'm putting it together, you can hopefully see exactly how I'm doing it. All right, here we go. I'm going to reposition everything right now. Okay, here we are with the current two designs that I have begun creating. I did already lay out my bead pattern so that I could just walk you through it fairly quick and just make it a nice short educational type of video on this design specifically. And as you notice here, I usually would have a charm The charm hangs on this looped bail right here, and it's not something that I used on this design specifically here. So you could opt to maybe perhaps customize it a little bit more by putting that piece in here instead, and then you would be able to hang your charm off of that. But in this particular design, I was going to just pick and select the butterfly. That's just the one thing that I wanted to note right away from the typical design which I make. All right, so here is the one I'm going to work on. Now I wanted to show you that there are several different of these caps for your crystals, and that is some of the struggle to why making a specific recipe in the design is difficult, because everyone's going to come up with different types of crystals and what it is that they're going to be attaching. I typically will use this acrylic style right here on most of my designs, but when I'm making something fairly smaller, I'm perhaps looking at more of a smaller piece like this. If you wish to kind of compare smaller or larger based on what you see here, this is a 14 by 10 millimeter flower. So when you are to be searching something up, you could be looking at a flower, a tubed flower, an acrylic flower. There's so many different descriptions that honestly would find you the same type of product, depending on your preference. Because this is not the same material, so therefore that's some of that description would be different versus on your pick. So here is a different crystal as well, and this is really tiny. So I really liked the delicate smallness of this, and quite frankly, I want to switch what I had originally selected to this right here. To me, and what I'm enjoying in this design and the purpose of this one specifically, I'm going to enjoy this one better. So I'm going to start beading all of this, and then once I finish those components up, I'm going to be using this clasp right here, and this is a double looped clamshell. So it does have 2 loops, so that once you clasp it together and you can put the ringlet on there, there is no slipping of the loop that would generally be the other design that you could pick for this type of piece here. So these clamshell pieces have a couple of different versions of the tip. So this here is intended for the knot to go inside of it, and then those 2 loops, once closed, like I said, can connect to there. The other type is more of a curled tip. Actually have it right here. Let's see. So that one only has the 1 loop right here that is just a hook, and then I would curl it up with my tool and close that hook. So here they are together, and you have the 2 different types. This is much more sturdy and holding the piece that you're going to connect, so I've honestly started to forego using these at all. I prefer this one. I will say this type of bead board was really helpful in being able to design that smaller size for the cell phone type of charm, as well as not being too far off from what I would have done with the rear view mirror connector sun charm. Suncatcher. Okay, 2 beads left here. And then I will show you how I connect the tip here. And I'll show you how I tie my knots as well. Alright, so here's the double looped clasp clamshell. So I'm going to put this on now, and then I'm going to be tying my knot. I just want to slide that aside just a little bit, so perhaps I'm hoping that it's easier for you to see this. The fishing line that I use is obviously invisible, so it is a little bit more difficult to see. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm going to try and tie it right here and hope for the best. So first you're just going to loop it once through. You're doing a basic knot. Now the trick to doing such a tight knot into the clamshell is to hopefully have some kind of a tool that you can string that line as close to possible by just pulling on it like that. So I will pinch that line a little bit tighter and then just snug it in there as close as I can with this tool. It gets it right on top of that clamshell opening. Okay, so this knot is really basic. You're just doing one more knot, but what I'm going to do now is go around it at least 3 times to cinch the knot down super tight. Now the typical knot that I'm going to use for these ends is a surgeon's knot. And so there's so many different processes on knot tying. If you need to, just Google what works best for you, especially being that there's so many different crystal tips, and the way that those can be tied sometimes is not the same. All right, so hopefully you can see that I've got my fishing line loop there again. I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to just simply pull on it. Now I'll make sure that the opening of my tool is right in the opening of that clamshell, so that, sorry, oh my gosh, I'm wiggling so much right there, so that it's as close as possible. And I will take my fingernail and just make sure that I've snugged everything as close as possible with that. And then you have your really tight line right there. All right, so let me get my scissors. And I will cut this tip down. And since it is fishing line, I do burn the tip here real quick just to get a little bit of a melted plastic end on there, down to about here, and then I'll tap it out. Okay, so now that the line is tied, just making sure that the knot is still sitting right inside of the clamshell here. You want to make sure that everything is in there when you go to lock up and close that tight. And then I will use a different tool for that. And just cinch that tight just like that. Okay. So as you can see right there, there's my little cell phone charm Suncatcher. So I'm going to loop this, well, actually, okay, for example, what you could do is you could loop this piece onto here, okay, and then you can attach it to whatever you wish in the long run. So then perhaps this is the part that's going to go through your cell phone, and it would hang like that. Yeah, oh my gosh, that's so cute. So obviously you guys could come up with whatever bead design that you wish, and or using the different tips. So, oops, shoot, I just messed this one up. Oh no. There we go. So if you were going to, let's say, use this end here, you would want to attach this piece to the end instead of this piece, because this is what's gonna have to go around that. Just for an example of that design. But yeah, oh my gosh, the color of this is so cute. What I'll do is I'll take it outside and I'll put it on my work phone and show you guys what it looks like as an example, so that you can see like how it hangs, and perhaps the length. If this is too long in your opinion, then you could shrink it up. Like if I was to measure this now, it's just roughly almost 4 inches in length, and the typical phone is probably like 6 inches, I would say. So this could definitely be smaller. You could start it here if you wanted to, and then you've just got a super small sun catcher charm hanging off of your cell phone. Yeah, oh my gosh, how sparkly and cute is that going to be outside? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed this design and what I've created here. All right, so I'm just going to lay out my other crystal designs here so that you can see them. And that's the final example so far of all of the different sun catcher designs that I have created. How fun. Oh my gosh, how pretty. Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.